Review copy provided by PlayStation. The original release of Gravity Rush for the PlayStation Vita flew under most people's radar, but Sony didn't give up on this unique new IP about shifting gravity. The original game's remaster for the PlayStation 4 hinted at the wonderful possibilities we might see in the sequel, and Gravity Rush 2 delivers on those hopes and pushes the envelope even further. Set shortly after the events of the first game, the gravity-shifting heroes Kat and Raven, along with their police buddy Sid, find themselves caught in a devastating gravity storm that spits them out to parts unknown. Fast forward a few months, and Kat and Sid are working with a ragtag group of miners in a foreign land, desperately clinging to the hope that they'll find their hometown and missing friend Raven. The narrative elements really draw you into this mysterious new world. Memorable new characters make up the supporting cast, and there are plenty of engrossing plot twists to hold your attention until the end. The game also dives into heavy themes, including class warfare and related social and economic issues. The story does an admirable job of tackling these subjects, though it's not quite eloquent or thought-provoking enough to elevate it above a very surface-level discussion. For those unfamiliar with the original game, Gravity Rush lets players control Kat, a gravity-shifting being who can easily traverse a world floating in the sky by manipulating gravity to her will. In the sequel, the same premise holds true, only instead of a vast, steampunk-themed city, there's a massive world of floating islands that each have their own unique look and feel. The scale and scope of the world dwarfs its predecessor, and it's simply breathtaking to see just how large it really is, both in breadth and depth. It's overwhelming at first, but ultimately rewarding to have so much freedom to go anywhere and explore at your leisure. The many regions aren't just sparse, empty zones either. There are tons of diverse NPCs to interact with in varying ways that help bring them and the world to life. It's absolutely gorgeous to look at, though not perfect. Various objects and NPCs have a bad habit of popping in late, even at close distances, and textures of nearby islands can take just a bit too long to load once you've arrived. Of course, there's more to do than just see the sights in Gravity Rush 2. There are the main story quests, which advance the plot, side quests, which delve deeper into the backstory and develop characters further, and challenge missions to test your skills. There's plenty of variety in the objectives of each quest too, ranging from the usual suspects like stealth missions, escort missions, and battles, to the atypical tasks of singing in a concert, role-playing with monsters posing as humans, aiding in the investigation of a major news story, and snapping photographs for a creepy old man. There's the occasional dud mission, but the vast majority are captivating adventures that will leave you wanting more. What's even better is how Gravity Rush 2 leverages online functionality to expand the activities available with an excellent user challenge system. If you're connected to PSN, you'll receive occasional challenges by other players in the form of treasure hunts, time trials, and score attacks. By competing in them, you not only earn worthwhile rewards, but can in turn pass along the challenge to others online. These challenges can be addictive, especially the treasure hunts, where you can submit your own photo as a clue for other players to find its whereabouts. If your picture leads somebody to the chest, you'll also get rewarded for that. The best part is you can sort through all your user challenges in the menu and instantly warp to them. The game also supports leaderboards and ghosts to gauge your best efforts and see how others have improved upon your score or time. There's a lot to do and see in Gravity Rush 2. Just sticking to the story quest can take around 25 hours to complete, but if you dig into side stories, challenges, and uncovering every last hidden collectible, you're looking at somewhere north of 40 hours to finish. The concept of shifting gravity to walk along the sides of walls and fly through the air was a unique concept when it was first introduced in Gravity Rush, but it wasn't without its drawbacks. Even with the refinements of the HD remaster, there was room for improvement. While things still aren't perfect, the gravity-shifting mechanics are much improved in the sequel. The refinements lead to a smoother experience with fewer bumps in the road, though the camera work is still problematic in certain situations. In addition to improving the existing mechanics, Gravity Rush 2 introduces new abilities, including two types of gravity styles, Lunar and Jupiter. Lunar mode reduces your gravity so that you're lighter, allowing you to jump higher, farther, and move faster, but you have less precision. It only takes a small amount of time to adapt to the lunar controls, and the improved mobility is a welcome addition. On the flip side, Jupiter mode increases gravity so that you're heavier. This is a great asset in combat, letting you make short work of large groups of enemies and deal massive damage to single targets. However, the limited mobility is problematic, and it's difficult to cope with the sluggish movement. This is somewhat alleviated by the fact that you can freely switch between the different gravity types, though this isn't always the case. Cat has plenty of tools at her disposal when dealing with enemies too. The basic combat systems of fighting on the ground or in the air remain relatively unaltered from before, though there are a few small adjustments for the better. The different gravity styles offer slight variations on your attacks, and you can power up your skills to enhance them, but the average combat situation rarely requires much effort to overcome. This is mostly due to the lack of enemy variety through a large portion of the game. As you take on new types of enemies and some impressive boss battles, fights in later sections feel more gratifying. Gravity Rush 2 is a gorgeous game with stunning visuals accompanied by a stellar soundtrack that features tunes both old and new. Although there are some rough edges, it's an emotional ride from start to finish, and one amazing action-adventure game. It's a worthy successor and an outstanding return to this enchanting world. Easy Allies reviews are made possible by generous viewers just like you. If you like what you see, check out patreon.com/easyallies to see our other videos and consider becoming a patron to help us make more. Review copy provided by PlayStation.